desktop, a batch, and this pandas. Okay, so first of all, let me list down what all visualization libraries do we have. Okay, I told you we are going to cover 6 libraries. Okay, the first library is going to be your matplotlib. Okay, this is the name of the library, matplotlib. Okay, second library which we are going to cover is Seaborn. Okay, third library is Pygel. Fourth library is Plotly. Fifth library is Geoplotlib. Okay, so these 5 we are going to cover. As I told you, the major purpose of this library is to create the graph only. Okay, but every library is different from another one. Why? What is the reason? Because there is some additional feature comes up with every library. Let's say Seaborn is the library which will help you to create the complex graph. When I'm talking about complex graph, you need to understand that we can create scatter plots here. We can create linear regression graphs here. Some of the graphs which will help me to understand the machine learning model. Such type of graphs we can create with the help of Seaborn. But what is not possible here? You cannot beautify your graph. Do you understand the term beautification? Whenever you want to label your graph, whenever you want to change the color of your bar, whenever you want to enhance the size of your graph, these all things are not possible with the help of Seaborn. It is just for us to create the complex graphs. Okay. Whereas Matplotlib comes up with the creation of normal graphs along with the beautification of it. When I'm talking about normal graph, which means your bar graph, pie chart, line chart, you can usually create such type of graph with the help of Matplotlib, and the extra advantage, or let's say the extra feature which is coming up with the Matplotlib is the beautification of the graph. When I'm talking about the beautification, which means I can label my graphs, I can change the color, I can enhance the size of the graph, also I can give the legend. What is the legend in the graph? Do you guys remember when we were in the school time, we always use the graph paper to create any graph? And we always describe scale in the right hand top corner of the graph, right? That 1 unit, or let's say 1 box is equals to 5 units, somewhat like that. So there we call that as scale, here we call that as legend. Okay, so these are things you can do with the help of Matplotlib. Now, there is a term called as Pygel. What is the purpose of using Pygel? The Pygel will help you to create the graph, and you can download that graph in the HTML format or in the PNG format. Okay, which means you can download these graphs and you can use it in your presentations. You don't need to take the screenshot of the graph and use it in your PPT. With the help of Pygel, you can download the graph in the PNG format or HTML format. That is completely your choice. HTML, because sometimes in the PPT we give the link, right? Clicking on the link, that will lead me to the graph. So either you can give the or paste the picture of the graph, or you can give the HTML link so that it will redirect you to the graph link. Okay. Now what is Plotly? Plotly will help you to zoom in your graph, zoom out your graph, change the axis grid. You can select the particular section of the graph. You can take the picture of the graph as well. Okay, so there are some of the extra advantages which is coming with the Plotly. Now Geoplotlib. What is the purpose of Geoplotlib? Do you understand in the data set of the shipping companies? Or let's say, consider if you remember the example of day one where we were talking about the data analysis in the company Swiggy, right? What happens if I'm going to order something? I am going to get assigned with a delivery partner. That delivery partner is going to capture my address and send me the list of my elements, or let's say thing, to my destination place. In that case, what happens? Your address never gets stored in your address format. Of course, for the identification it gets stored, but it always gets stored as the point called as latitude and longitude. Okay, suppose you are living here. You are having your house here. Okay, X place. Now this is your Swiggy restaurant in the Y place. Okay, so basically we are not going to keep the data of Swiggy restaurant as the address. No, I want the exact pinpoint of that restaurant. So that what will happen, I can calculate the distance between this particular restaurant and my home. How this is going to happen? Are we going to sit back and check, okay, quarter 3A and let's say restaurant XYZ, what is the exact distance between them? No, this is not going to happen. We usually calculate the distance on the basis of latitude and longitude. Every destination or every source has this point called as latitude or longitude, which helps us to give the coordinates in the map. Okay, so this is my X coordinate and this is going to be my Y coordinate with latitude and longitude. And we can calculate the distance between this latitude and longitude with the help of some function or with the help of some formula. Okay, so that is how we can calculate the distance between two sources. Okay, so Geoplot.lib helps us to do that thing. Geoplot.lib helps us to plot the latitude and longitude in the graph. Okay, we are going to have a world map where with the help of Geoplot.lib you can plot the latitude and longitude dots in that world map. Okay, so Geoplot.lib, as you can see, the term geo, which means what? Geography, geo, okay, and plot. We are going to plot. Lib is the library. Okay, geographical plot, or let's say the world map plotting on the basis of latitude and longitude, we call this as Geoplot.lib. Okay, so we are going to cover all of these 5 libraries, and if the time remains, we are going to create live dashboards in the Python. Okay, so you will understand what is the purpose of each of the libraries which we are learning for the visualization purpose. Now, the first library which we are going to cover today, or we are going to start with, is called as Seaborn. Okay. Now, Seaborn, as I told you, helps us to create the complex graphs. Which complex graphs I'm talking about? We are going to pick this lone data set. Okay. And we are going to create graphs on this with the help of Seaborn. Remember, every library has its own advantages. We are picking right now Seaborn. Okay. Whenever we get stuck somewhere, then only we are going to choose some different library. Okay. As of now, I don't have any issue. If you guys remember, we also created heat map with the help of Seaborn, right? So can we say that Seaborn helps us to create the complex graph? Because heat map is something not seems like a normal one, right? It is a graph which helps us to find the correlation between two columns. So it is not the normal category of graph. It is the complex category of the graph. Now let's talk about Seaborn. If you guys remember, whenever we are going to use any library, we have to import it. Let me write it down first. Plotting. Okay. So we have to import the Seaborn library. Let's import that. Simply writing import. We have already done this thing before. So import Seaborn as SNS. Simple. Once my importing is done, then we are going to move forward. Now guys, we know that we are having n number of graphs to be created. But the problem which I have seen amongst you guys is the identification of the graph. Which graph to create when? Since we started pandas, I always told you, right, that this graph is going to get created in this situation. This particular graph is suited for this particular situation. We cannot create just any graph for any particular concept or situation or problem. Okay, so we have to be focused while creating the graph. If I want to distinguish between two values, I'm going to create either bar chart or the pie chart. If I want to see the relationship between two different numerical features, I'm going to create scatter plot. So the combination of this feature, let's say univariate and bivariate, categorical and numerical, we are going to create a table of this, which will help us to easily pick the Seaborn graph needs to get created. Okay. For example, you guys know we can only create the graphs on the 2 dimensions, right? We cannot create 3-dimension graph as of now. Of course, we do have libraries present in the Python for the creation of 3D graphs, but we are now sticking to the 2D graphs only. Okay. Now, since I'm talking about 2D graphs, why we are only sticking to the 2D graphs? Because we have 2 axes. That's where we started our NumPy and Pandas session from, right? What is the type of data we are going to deal with? 1-dimensional or 2-dimensional. Why? Because we only have 2 axes. And based on these 2 axes, we are going to plot the graph. Okay, no problem. Now, on the basis of these 2 axes, 2 variations can be possible. Univariate and bivariate. We can create the graph of univariate feature. We can also create the graph of bivariate feature. Okay, now coming back to the point, let's create the Seaborn table to pick which type of method is suitable for which type of condition. So since I'm going to write here, let's say univariate, bivariate, numerical feature, categorical feature. That's why this bifurcation is very important. Okay, because each time you are going to create the graph, this univariate and the data types always comes into the picture. So univariate numerical type of data, guys. If you remember what type of graph we create, anyone? For the univariate numerical type of data, what type of graphs we create? Let me change the chat setting. Univariate numerical I'm talking about. Okay. Understand this carefully. For univariate numerical, which means we are having one numerical feature, right? We plot histogram or KDE, right? So here we call this as dist plot. SNS.dist plot. Okay. What is dist plot? Distribution plot, right? We understand the distribution of numerical feature. That's why we write it as a dist plot. Now, univariate categorical type of features, we create bar and pi. So we write cat plot. SNS.cat plot. For bivariate numerical, we are having 2 type of plots. Let's say pair plot. I'll show this thing to you, and joint plot. With the help of joint plot, we can create scatter plots, line graph, everything. Okay. Now, bivariate categorical type of feature. What do you guys think? If I am having 2 categorical type of features, is the graph creation possible? And if it is possible, which graph we can create? Suppose I am having one feature as, let's say, gender, another feature as loan status. They both are categorical in nature. How we can create the graph for this? Since every feature, or let's say every axis is going to be string type of data or categorical in feature, what will happen? We don't have numbers to plot. So bivariate categorical is not possible. You have to select any of the feature or either of the feature to be numeric in nature. Of course, this category falls here, but you need to remember one thing, that any of the feature could be or should be numeric in nature. Then only my graph creation is possible. If I'm going to pick both of the columns as categorical in nature, how I'm going to plot the graph? Because both of them are string type of data. If I don't have numbers in my hand, how the graph creation is possible? It is not. So for bivariate categorical type of data, we also create cat plot, but here we select one numerical and one categorical type of data Also, the type of graphs which we are going to create here called as box plot. Okay, so we are going to create the graphs one by one. First, I am picking univariate numerical type of data. Then we'll jump into the categorical one. Okay, or let's talk about categorical one first. Okay, so I'm just simply writing it down. Hope you guys have already jotted it out. I'm just removing this. Here, I am writing univariate categorical type of feature. Okay, now univariate categorical type of feature, I'm just going to see what all features do we have. The types it should be. Okay, now you can see we are having so many object feature available. So what we can do, I am picking, let's say, gender. Okay, univariate categorical. Simply I'm writing sns.catplot. Inside that, you will see the syntax of every Seaborn graph is going to be similar from one another. Okay, so it is not going to create too much, let's say, burden in your brain. Simple, you have to mention your data. My data is df1. Now you have to mention the x-axis. Do you understand one thing? We are only going to have either x-axis or y-axis because this is univariate, right? So I'm right now giving this into the x-axis. What? My gender. Okay, running this. Okay, we have to mention the kind as well. Mistake away. Here you have to mention kind is equals to bar. Wait a minute. There is some horizontal orientation requires numeric x variable. And there is some syntax error happening. Okay. Sorry, this should be count plot. My bad. Still not picking up. Here I have to remove. Okay, sorry for that. Just remember bar from the previous one. We also call this as count plot. So you can say that your bar graph is also, we have the synonym for the bar as count plot. Okay, so what we have done, we just pick up the data set, which is df1. I selected the x-axis and I mentioned what kind of graph I want to create. Now you'll ask me the question that I can change this count to pi as well. Yes, you can, because only these two graphs are supported for the univariate analysis. Okay, any other graph you cannot create. Now you will ask me the question that we were creating the same graph in the pandas. What difference it is creating here? Okay, here you can see we are having gender and we are having count. Okay, these two things were missing in the pandas. You will see your graph was not labeled, the color of the bar was not different, the labeling for the bar was not there, the frequency was not looking good. So it was not, let's say, appealing, visually appealing. Now, suppose, let's say we are having one question in the chat box where Gurpal is asking, can we change X and Y label? Of course you can. You can simply select sns.catplot. Inside the data, you can mention df1. Now, you can simply choose y-axis here. I want y-axis to be my dependence. Okay, pasting it down here, writing kind is equals to count. You can see. Okay, now don't ask me the question, can I change the color of bar? Yes, of course, that is also possible. Okay, so we have n number of parameters, guys. And let me tell you, the cheat sheet or cheat code, we never remember what all parameters are there. These are the basic parameters. There are so many things. You can change the color, you can change the font, you can change the shape, you can change the size, whatever you want to, it is all there. Okay. Instead of count, can it be number of individuals? Individuals are there?
I'm sorry, I'm unmuting it. Can I, instead of count, can I say on the X or Y axis is number of individuals? I want to show it as number of individuals instead of count. I don't want to use the word count. I want to use the word number of individuals.
Okay, so here, right, you want to rename your x-axis. That's what you're talking about, right? Yes, you can do, but we have to take matplotlib into the picture. Okay, here it is not possible with the Seaborn. You can create with the help of graph, with the help of Seaborn. Now you have to take matplotlib into the picture and change the label name. It is possible. Okay, so wait for that time, we'll do. Okay, so you can, yes, this is possible, guys. You can change the X label, Y label. What we call this as, this is your X label, X-axis label, and this is your Y-axis label. Whatever is going to be written here is going to be the title of your graph. Okay, so these are the basic terminologies. Yeah, so I was telling you, you can also go into the help section of sns.catplot. There you will see, wait a minute, none type, let's mention data equals to df1. Okay, so here you can see what is happening. It is giving you the number of parameters present in the cat plot. Okay, there is something called as hui, which is not supported here. We will see that in upcoming. Palette, you can see none. What is palette? This palette will help you to select the color palette for the bars. Okay, if you want to change the bar colors, there are some combinations of color they made into one container. You can select that color palette. Do you understand what palette is? Whenever in your younger time, or let's say whenever you were in school, you were doing you were supposed to do water paint, right? So water paint, there is always have the palette where you fill different colors and you dip your brush into it and paint it. That is the same type of palette as is talking about. Whenever you select palette, it gives you the combination of some colors. Okay, so those combination of colors you cannot change. Okay, so this is all it is talking about. So if you want to use palette, you can use palette. Okay, palette name, list or dictionary. Okay, color to use for different levels. So whenever you want to, you can. Also understand that here the color codes coming into the picture. Okay, I cannot just randomly write red, blue, green. No. Okay, there are some color codes which we have to remember, then only it is going to happen. So let's go back. Let's try to write palette here. Let's do some deliberate mistake. Okay, I am writing palette is equals to, let's say, red. Okay, now see, it is giving me some error. You can scroll it down and you can fetch. Okay, let me see if I am PALETTE. PALETTE. Okay, so here it will give you, see, it is giving you the option of palettes. Same way which we have done for the heat map. I do this is my way of checking the color codes, because I know my brain, I cannot remember this many numbers, or let's say this many colors in my head, right? So I do deliberate mistakes so that I can fetch the color palette from here and paste it down here. If it is supported, you can see it is giving you the color palette of purples. Now, if you want to go for the blues, it will give you for the blues. So you don't need to remember this thing. That's what I told you, the combination of colors. Okay. Now you will ask me the question that I'm not liking this. I want the palette color to be of my own choice. So you can see in the palette section, it gives you the option, right? That you can declare the palette name, list or dictionary, whatever your choice is. Okay, so you can do that as well. Suppose I'm going to paste it down here. In the palette section, I am declaring one list. Let's say blues and purples and running it. Okay, I have to give two more. Okay, I have to give two more. Let's give blue and purple again. Let's see if it is going to map it up. It's not matching the color palette. Wait a minute. Okay, so it is telling me that it cannot generate the palette. Okay, that's what I told you. We cannot select the color of our own choice. So this thing is not possible. Let me remove this. You can select the palette like this only. Okay. So, look into this and tell me if you have any sort of questions. Yes, do we have any questions? Pi is not recognized. Let me change it. If you simply write the kind as pi, it is going to pick that up. Not picking that up, yeah? Okay, pi we have to create with the help of matplotlib. It is not supported here. We have to create sns.py. Okay, with the help of catplot, it is not supported. Here, kind is equals to pi will not work. Only kind is equals to count will work. Okay, don't worry, we have something else for pi. Okay, and let me be very honest, what we are doing here is just letting you know, guys, that we have such options. Okay, do not think that you have to remember each of these things. Every edit and go with the help section. I know you have 5 type of different plotting libraries. You are not going to remember every command for it, and no need to remember as well. Just make yourself assured that these all things exist in the plotting library, so that when the time comes, you must be aware. Okay, we can create plots like this. Simple. Okay, do not try to rote learn this thing. It is not even possible. Because every time we are going to change the graph, the color codes are going to change, the parameters are going to change. Don't burden your brain. You have very difficult decisions to make in the near future, not these things. Okay. Now, let's talk about pie chart. If you want to create the pie chart with the help of Seaborn, as you can see, it comes under the category of categorical feature, right? So, sns.py is the thing for that. Give me a moment. Okay, so what I told you that pie chart we can create with a combination of matplotlib and the Seaborn. Okay, so let me give you the example. For let's say I'm importing the matplotlib. Now here you can see as I told you, we do have advantage, but we also have disadvantages of using the graphs. Here you can see we get stuck. This only supports count plot. Even if you go and check that Seaborn supports pie chart, no, because this is only for the complex graph creation. Pie chart falls under the normal graph category. Okay, so for this thing, we always choose the matplotlib for the creation of graph. For example, let's say I'm importing matplotlib here. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as PLT. Okay, so this is the importing statement of matplotlib. Now, after importing this, what we are going to do? Simply writing PLT dot py. Okay, and inside that you have to mention the data. What is my data? Here you can simply mention the column name df1 of gender. Okay, so I'm going to simply run this. Wait a minute, it's going to create error. Load mail. We have to do value counts first. df.gender.value counts. Okay, so you can see what it is doing, creating a graph. But you can see this is a blunt graph. Okay, you have to give the labels to this graph. This pie is not giving me the percentage. This pie is not giving me the labels. All of these things we have to do on our own. Okay, so for that purpose, you can understand PLT means what we are using matplotlib. Suppose, let's say you want to set the style. Okay, you can take the help of Seaborn. Simply write SNS, write set style, and in the bracket, I am writing white grid. Okay, running this. You can see what is happening here. It is giving me the white grid gap between the pies. Okay, if you want to go with the dependence, because it contains different type of discrete value, not only two, you can see this pie is now looking better, white grid, because every pie is getting separated with a white grid. Now, you can see my pie is looking small. If I want to increase the size of the pie, it comes under the beautification of graph, matplotlib. Simply writing plt.figure and mentioning the figure size, FIG, SIZE. Inside that, I'm mentioning length and breadth. So I'm simply mentioning 6,6. You can see now your pie is looking bigger. So this is for enhancing the size of the graph. Let me mention it down in the every command line. Here, border lines for the pie. Here, enhancing the size of pie. Here, plotting the pie. Okay. Once this is done, you can see right now I don't have any labels here, right? So if you want to show the labels here, simply mention comma, write labels equals to, what all do we have? 0, dependence as 1, 2, and 3 plus, right? Running it. Wait a minute. Labels. Spelling is wrong. Okay. Here you can see. You can also increase the size of this font that we will learn later. That is going to happen with the help of matplotlib. Okay. So don't worry for that. Simply you can see what is happening. It is labeling my pie like this. Okay. Now, if you want to see the percentage, Okay, so if you want to see the percentage, you can simply write AUTOPCT equals to 1 percentage dot 1 F percentage. So this is the incomplete format. Double percentage should be there. Okay, now you can see it is giving me the percentage format. The percentage is looking not correct. Why is the reason? 18.5, 157.6. Let's do for the gender. Maybe dependence, it is not counting exactly. Gender. df1 dot value counts, we do have labels here. Gender के लिए male और female होना चाहिए. Okay, my bad. Sorry guys, confusing you too much. Now this is going to show perfect. Okay, for dependence as well, it is going to show perfect. So do you understand one thing, what it is doing? This percentage, how we are writing it down? Percent 1.1 F percent. What does that mean? This point is telling me this point. Okay, before that, percent 1 is telling me this number. Okay, format, float format, and here it is giving me 1F, which means we have to go till 1 decimal place. Okay, 1F is the significance that we have to go till 1 decimal place, and this percentage is for the representation. Okay, so this is how we write the percentage in the pie chart. You can create the same thing for the dependence as well, but this is going to be similar. You can change the number here, which means you can change 1 to 2. Then it is going to show you till 2 decimal places. You can see. But keep this 1 as it is, because this is the responsible number for the calculation of the percentage. Okay. So auto percentage is the parameter here for displaying the percentage. You can see auto PCT means auto percentage. Labels means you want labels to look like this. Here value counts you are picking for the plotting of pi. Okay, getting it? If you want, you can also declare the legends. Legends means scale. Okay, so come here, simply write plt dot legend. There are so many things. So you can see now this legend is also come. Always remember, you have to mention all of these things in the similar or same cell. Okay, if you mention this in different cell, your Python will get confused which to enhance the size of which graph. Okay, or to modify or beautify which graph. Look into this and let me know if you have any sort of questions.